Hello, in this lecture we will find the area of this blue triangle. As you can see in the drawing, we have a rectangle that contains three right triangles and the blue triangle too, and actually the area of this triangle minus the sum of the areas of the three right triangles will be equal to the area of this blue triangle. Okay, so we will try to find the area of this rectangle, and then we subtract from the area of the rectangle, the sum of the areas of those three triangles, and we will get the area of the blue triangle. Okay, so first of all, let's set the variable a for the width of this rectangle will be set as variable a, and the length of this rectangle will be set as variable b. Okay, so the length of this rectangle will be set as variable b. Okay, and as you have already know, the length of the rectangle times the width of this rectangle will be the area of the rectangle, so a times b is equal to the area of this rectangle. And we will set the base of the triangle, that is area is 15 units. The base of this rectangle will be set as the variable y. So you can see immediately from the drawing that b minus y will be the base of the triangle, that his area is 12 units. Okay, b the length of this rectangle minus the base of this rectangle will be equal to the base of the triangle that its area is 12 units. In the same way, we can define x as the height of this triangle that its area is 27 units, and you can see immediately that a minus x will be the height of this triangle. Okay, a, that is the width of this rectangle, minus the height of this triangle, will be equal to the height of the triangle that its area is 12 units. Okay, so we actually know that the area of a triangle equals to the base of the triangle times the height to the base of the triangle, all divided by 2. So this is actually the formula to calculate the area of any triangle. The area equals to the base of the triangle times the height to the base divided by 2. Okay, so we will implement this formula in order to calculate, or in order to create the formulas of the areas of the free right triangle that we have in the drawing. Okay, so first of all, we will create the area, the formula for the area of this triangle, that its area is 15 units. So the formula for the area of this triangle will be the base of the triangle that equals to y times the height of this triangle that equals to a, all divided by 2. So this is the area of the triangle, of this triangle, but we know already that the area equals to 15 units. So we can write it down. So the first equation is the formula for the area of this triangle. The area of the triangle that equals to 15 units. So the formula for the area of this triangle is the base of the triangle times the height of the triangle divided by 2, and it equals to 15 units. So we can write it again that y times a divided by 2 equals to 15 units. Then we will create the formula for the area of this triangle. The area of this triangle equals to the base of the triangle, that is b, times the height of the triangle, that is x, and divided by 2, that is the area of this right triangle. But we have already know that the area of this right triangle equals to 27 units. So we can write it down. The area equals to 27 units. So we can write it again, that b times x divided by 2 equals to 27. And finally, we have the area of this triangle, that we know that the area equals to 12 units, but we want to create the formula for this area. Okay, so the formula for the area of this triangle will be the formula for the area of this triangle will be the base of the triangle, that is equal to b minus y times the height of this triangle that we have already calculated, that is a minus x. You can see here it is a minus x. The height of this triangle is a minus x, and all divided by 2 is equal to the area of this triangle. But we have already know that the area equals to 12 units, so we can write it down. So the area of the triangle, that is area of the formula for the area of the triangle, that is area is 12 units, equals to the base of the triangle, that is b minus y, times the height of this triangle, that is a minus x, all divided by 2. It equals to the area, but we have already know that the area equals to 12 units. Okay, so we can rewrite it. T minus y times a minus x divided by 2 equals to 12. Here we can multiply both sides of the equation by 2, so we will get that b minus y times a minus x equals to 24. 12 times 2 is 24. So b minus y times a minus x equals to 24. The next step will be to take out y from the first equation, to take y out from the first equation, and then we will take also x out of the second equation. Okay, first of all we will start from y. So the first equation is y times a divided by 2 equals to 15. Okay, this is the first equation. Y times a divided by 2 equals to 15. We will multiply both sides of the equation by 2. We'll get that y times a equals to 30, because 15 times 2 is 30. Okay, Now we will divide both sides of the equation by a. We can divide by a because a is the width of the rectangle, so it must be a positive number, but so it can never be 0, so we can divide both sides of the first equation by a, and we will get that y equals to 30 over a. Okay, so after we divided both sides of the equation by a, we got that y equals to 30 over a. Next we will take out x from the second equation. The second equation is p times x divided by 2 equals to 27. Okay, this is the second equation. We take x out of the second equation. So first of all, we multiply both sides of the equation by 2. We will get that b times x equals to 54, because 27 times 2 is 54. Okay. Now we will divide both sides of the equation by b. We can divide by b because b is the width. B equals to the width of this triangle, of this rectangle. B is also the base of the triangle, that is area is 12 units, so it will never be 0, so we can divide both sides of the second equation by b. So we'll get that x equals to 54 over b. Okay. After we divided both sides of the equation by b, we got that x equals to 54 over b, and we also got that y equals to 30 over a. So we took out x and y from the equations. Okay, x equals to 54 over b and y equals to 30 over a. So in the next step we will substitute x by 54 over b in the third equation, and we will substitute also y by 30 over a in the third equation. So the third equation is actually b minus y times a minus x equals to 24. Okay, this is the third equation. B minus 1 times a minus x equals to 24. So we'll substitute y by 30 over a, and we'll substitute x by 54 over b. Okay, this is x and y. We can substitute, we can do this substitution because y equals to 30 over a and x equals to 54 over b. So we can do the substitutions. So b minus y that equals to 30 over a times a minus x that equals to 54 over b, all equals to 24. So you can see here we substituted y by 30 over a and x by 54 over b, because as you can see here, x equals to 54 over b and y equals to 30 over a. So we can do the substitution. Okay, so in the next step we will open the brackets in the third equation. So b times a is ba, or ab, it is the same. ab equals to ba, as you already know. b times 54 over b equals to minus 54. Minus 30 over a times a equals to minus 30, and all equals to 24. Okay, we will repeat again. b times a equals to ba, or ab, it is the same. b times minus 54 over b equals to minus 54, and 30 over a times minus 30 over a times a equals to minus 30, and 30 over a times 54 over b equals to 1600, and 20 over AB, all equals to 24. I will repeat again. B times A is AB, minus 30 over A times A is B times A is AB, B times minus 54 over B is minus 54. 30 over B times minus 30 over A times A is minus 30, and minus 30 over A times minus 54 over B equals to 1620 over AB, and all equals to 24. Okay, we simply opened the brackets in this line. Now we will subtract 24 from both sides of the equation. We get that AB minus 54 minus 30 minus 24 plus 1620 over AB equals to 0. Okay, we subtracted 24 from both sides of the equation. We got that AB minus 54 minus 30 minus 24, because we subtracted 24, plus 1620 over AB equals to 24 minus 24 equals to 0. Now minus 54 minus 30 minus 24 equals to negative 108. So we'll write it down. So A times P minus 108 plus 1620 over AB equals to 0. Okay, AB, we have AB, and minus 54 minus 30 minus 24 is negative 108, and when we copy it as it is, 1620 over AB equals to 0. Here we can multiply both sides of the equation by AB. So we'll get that AB times AB is AB squared, negative 108 times AB is negative 108 AB, and 1620 over AB times AB is 1620, all equals to 0, because 0 times AB equals to 0. Okay, I'll repeat again. We multiplied both sides of the equation by AB, and actually AB times AB equals to AB squared, and negative 108 times AB is negative 108 AB, and 1620 over AB times AB is 1620, and AB times 0 equals to 0. So we got a quadratic equation. I will write it again. AB squared minus negative 108 AB plus 1620 equals to 0. So this is a quadratic equation, and the variable of this quadratic equation is AB, and A times B is the area of the rectangle, because it is actually the width of the rectangle times the length of the rectangle, that equals to the area of this rectangle. Okay, so when we will find the value of the values of AB, we will actually solve the problem, because after we know the area of this rectangle, we will subtract from the area the sum of the areas of these three right triangles, and this will be the area of the blue triangle. Okay, so actually the general form of a quadratic equation is a times x squared plus b times x plus c equals to 0. Okay, so actually this is the general form of a quadratic equation: a times x squared plus b times x plus c equals to 0, when a, b, and c are the coefficients of a quadratic equation. Okay, so I write it down. A, B, and C are the coefficients of the quadratic equation. Okay, A, B, and C are the coefficients of a quadratic equation, and x is the variable. Okay, x is the variable of a quadratic equation. I will write it down. X equals to the variable of the quadratic equation. Okay, but we have a special formula that will help us to find the variable x of the quadratic equation, and the special formula for x is x equals to minus b plus minus the root of b squared minus 4ac all divided by 2a. So this is the special formula for x that will help us to find out x. So actually the values of x are the roots of the quadratic equations. Okay, the roots of this quadratic equation are the values of x. Okay, so and a, b, and c and are the coefficients of the quadratic equation. and x is the variable that we want to find, and it is also called the roots of this quadratic equation are the values of x. Okay, so I will write again our equation, our specific quadratic equation is actually ab squared, but we can multiply ab squared by 1. When we multiply something by 1, we are not changing the value of it, so we can multiply by 1 ab squared plus or plus minus 108 ab plus 1620 equals to 0. Okay, this is our specific quadratic equation that we developed from the three equations that we built for the rectangle and for the three right triangles. Okay, for the three right triangles, we developed the formulas for these three right triangles, and from those three equations we got a quadratic equation. So we will write again the general formula for a quadratic equation, that is a times x squared plus b times x plus c equals to 0. Okay, you can see that a equals to 1, b equals to negative 108, and c equals to 1620. So I will mark arrows. I will mark ABC with arrows. And x is equals to AB. So we'll write it down. So we found out that A equals to 1, B equals to negative 108, and C equals to 1620, and X equals to AB. Okay? So I'll repeat again. A in our specific equation, in our specific quadratic equation, A equals to 1, B equals to negative 108, and C equals to 1620, and X equals to A times B. Okay? So we copy again the general formula for x in order to find out the value of AB. You should remember that x equals to AB. So the general formula for x is x equals to minus b plus minus the root of b squared minus 4ac divided by 2a So this is the formula for x. Now we will implement it in our specific equation. We know that x equals to AB, so we will write down x equals to AB. X equals to minus b, and minus b equals to minus 108. So minus b is minus minus 108, and minus minus is plus. So minus b is 108 plus minus the root of b squared. B equals to negative 108, so it is negative 108 squared minus 4 times A equals to 1 and C equals to 1620, all divided by 2A. 2 times A that equals to 1 is 2 times 1. So I already explained you b equals to negative 108, so minus b is minus minus 108, that equals to plus 108, plus minus the root of b squared, so b equals to negative 108, so b squared is negative 108 squared minus 4ac is 4 times a equals to 1, so it is 4 times 1 times c is equals to 1618, so it is 4 times 1 times 1620. Okay, so we will do the calculation. We get that AB equals to 108 plus minus negative 108 squared equals to 11,664 minus 4 times 1620 equals to 6,480, all divided by 2. By 2 times 1 is 2, so all divided by 2, and it is equals, okay, so you can see negative 108 square equals to 11,664, and minus 4 times 1620 equals to 6,480 and 11,664 minus 6,880 equals to 11,664 minus 6,480 equals to 5,184, all divided by 2. Okay, 11,664 minus 6,480 equals to 5,184, and the root of 5,184 is 72. So we will have here two solutions of the quadratic equation, have two roots or two solutions for the variable AB. The first, as you can see here, the root of 5,184 is 72, so we have 108 plus 72 divided by 2, or 108 minus 72 divided by 2. So we have two answers, two solutions for AB, or two roots for the quadratic equation. The first solution is AB equals to 108 plus 72 divided by 2. 108 plus 72 is 180 divided by 2 equals to 90. So the first solution for AB is 80. That is to say, the area of the rectangle, that is A times B, equals to 90 units. Okay, the area of the rectangle, that is A times B, equals to 90 units, but we must consider also the second solution. Here, I will explain. 108 plus 72 is 180, divided by 2 is 90. Okay, but we must consider the second solution also. That is actually A times B equals to 108 minus 72 divided by 2. 108 minus 72 equals to 36, divided by 2 is 18. Okay, so the second solution for AB is 108 minus 72 divided by 2. 108 minus 72 is 36, and 36 divided by 2 is 18. But this answer is not correct, the area of this rectangle cannot be 18 units. Why? Because the rectangle contains 3 right triangles, and the total area of these 3 right triangles equals to 54 units. 27 plus 12 plus 15 equals to 54 units. So the area of the rectangle that contains the 3 right triangles must be greater than 54 units. So the option of 18 units is impossible, so the only option that's left is that the area of this rectangle equals to 90 units. The first solution for the quadratic equation, and the area of the rectangle that is 90 units minus the sum of the areas of these 3 right triangles that is 27 units plus 12 units plus 15 units equals to 90 minus 54 equals to 36. So the area of these blue triangle equals to 36 units. 36 units. Okay. The area of the rectangle minus the sum of the areas of the 3 right triangles equals to 90 minus the sum of the areas of the 3 triangles, this is 54. 90 minus 54 equals to 36 units, and the area of the blue triangle is 36 units. Okay, the area of the blue triangle equals to 36 units. Now I will summarize the lecture. We actually wanted to find the area of these blue triangles, and as I already told you, the area of the blue triangle equals to the area of the rectangle minus the sum of the areas of the 3 right triangles. So, but because of the fact that the area of those 3 right triangles is given, the only thing that we must know is the area of the rectangle, that is its width times its height. So the only thing that we must find out is the value of A times B, that is the area of the rectangle, and then we will subtract the area of the rectangle from the sum of the areas of the 3 triangles, and we will get the area of the blue triangle. So in order to find out the value of A times B, we created 3 equations that are the equations that actually calculate the areas of those 3 triangles. We do have the areas themselves, but we created the 3 equations that are the 3 formulas to calculate the area that is already given to us. So the area of this triangle is its base times its height divided by 2. So y times a divided by 2 equals to 15. This is the first equation. the equation for the area of this triangle is its base, that is b, times its height, that is x, divided by 2. So b times x divided by 2 equals to 27 units. And the area of the third triangle, or the formula for the area of the third triangle, equals to its base times its height divided by 2. So it is, the base is b minus y, and the height is a minus x. So it is b minus y times a minus x divided by 2 equals to 12 units. So from these three equations we arrived to the quadratic equation. We got the quadratic equation that AB is the variable that we want to find, and after we used the special formula for x, that is AB, we found out two solutions for AB. The first solution was 90 units, that the area of the triangle is 90, of the area of the rectangle is 90 units. A times B is 90 units, is the area of the rectangle. And the second solution was 18, but 18 is impossible because the sum of the areas of the three right triangles is 54. So the area of the rectangle must be greater than the area of the triangles that it contains. So it must be greater than 54 units. So 18 is impossible answer. So the only answer for the area of this rectangle is 90 units, and the area of the rectangle that is 90 units minus the area, the sum of the areas of the right triangles is actually 90 units minus 54 units, that is 36 units, and 36 units is the area of the blue triangle. Okay, thank you very much.